Hey, I'm Randy and I'm the Cheap Audio Man. Here at the Cheap Audio Man, we don't feel like audio equipment, speakers, amps, headphones, streamers, earbuds should cost more than a lot of things. But today I'm flipping the script because yesterday something came up and I felt like that shouldn't cost more than a really good stereo. And that's signing your daughter up for drill team, your teenage daughter up for drill team. And you have to buy the matching hats and the shoes, socks, duffel bags. Got to have money to travel to go to all the activities. Drill team, sign up for a teenager shouldn't cost more than a really good stereo system with all the components. And unfortunately, this does. Okay. So grab a cup of coffee, sit down, and let's talk about the Cheap Audio Man's favorite things from companies people might not have heard of. Okay, so this is kind of a different video. I've never done this before. Some of these I've already reviewed. Others I haven't quite gotten to yet. But these are components that I feel either represent an extreme value, well, they all kind of represent an extreme value proposition, but that are special for certain things. Either it be sound quality or just absolute bang for the buck or what have you. And these are companies that some of the uninitiated may have not heard of. So, this is the Aperion Novus. It retails for $600. That is a lot, but oftentimes you can find these open box on their website. Aperion is a direct-to-consumer company, which means this is not going through distributors and retailers. It's coming directly from the manufacturer. They're having it manufactured. They are manufactured in China, but it's their own factory, so they do their own stuff, okay? So, why is this special? Well, number one, because it sounds awesome. Probably the best speaker that you could get away on a desktop with, but also plays extremely huge for its size. Frequency response, dead flat, neutral, bass response, ridiculous for its size. I think this thing goes to the low 40s. I don't know, I don't remember. And then incredible detail. Incredible detail. Incredible detail. Front ported so you can get it close to a wall. Nothing but good things. Built like a tank. Gorgeous. And on the back, I don't know if you can see this. It's got, here, I'll just pick it up. Careful. It's got this cool thing. It's a treble jumper. And what that does is if you got a little bit too much treble in your life, you can pull that jumper out. Takes it down a bit. All right? So, you can kind of dial it into your taste. It's great. It's great. Aperion Novus. They make a whole bunch of stuff. Some of their stuff is a little bit outside of the price range of the channel here, but it's all awesome. I've got a pair of super tweeters in that I'm going to review for them, and I'm also going to get the Beerus, which is another bookshelf model, kind of maybe a different tier, a different family, if you will. I think it has a different sound, but from all that I've heard, they're great. Okay. Magnetic grills, very nice. Okay. Secondly, a Raspberry Pi streamer. For about $130 all in, you can, or one can, buy a Raspberry Pi. It's a little computer on a board, and you can put either, they call them hats. So you can put like a digital hat on it to separate the digital signal from the actual computer board, which can be kind of noisy. And then you can set, like I have a Digi hat on here. It's the Hi-Fi Berry Digi Pro Plus or something like that. And then you take the digital signal out and you take it into your DAC, your integrated amplifier, or your standalone DAC, or whatever it is. You can also get DAC hats. So basically you can just run RCAs out of this into your stereo, okay? Cool thing about these are not only are they super affordable, probably the most affordable way to get into streaming, true streaming, but you also have a lot of flexibility with them, with different operating systems. So you actually have to download an operating system, put it on a little micro USB, and then you plug it in and you turn it on, okay? I personally use Volumio. It can be a little bit clunky, but it works with Tidal if you pay for the premium annual subscription. And I paid for the multi-use one. I think I have up to 5 Pis running. And you get Tidal and Qobuz integration. And it plays gaplessly, which most streamers don't play gaplessly, with the exception of like the Blue Sound Node 2i. Maybe some other ones. But at this price point, most don't play gaplessly. Also grabs your network attached storage device. So if you ripped a bunch of CDs, you put them on there, you'll do it. Also, you can plug a CD player into this if you have Volumio Premium and rip the CDs. Okay? Raspberry Pi. The Raspberry Pi 4 actually has lower noise out of the USBs. This is the Raspberry Pi 3. I got this about a year and a half ago. A little bit noisier. That's why I put the Hi-Fi Berry Digi Hat on top. Okay? Now, iFi is probably maybe the most well-known product on this table. This is the iFi Zen Blue. It is a Bluetooth receiver. Okay? So, for $130, you can get a Bluetooth receiver that incorporates the best Bluetooth codecs available right now, which include LDAC, aptX HD, aptX, AAC, and then SBC. Based upon what codec your device, i.e. your phone, has, so this is an Apple device, this is an iPhone 8 because I haven't gotten a new one yet, it uses AAC, or AAC codec is the best codec that you can get. Then this goes to AAC. And then, instead of having to get a streamer and messing around with, loading operating systems and messing around with an app and things like that, now you just use your phone. So it's just this is a really good Bluetooth receiver, okay? With a really good DAC in it, okay? But also, if you have like an awesome DAC that you love, you can digital out of the back, okay? Also has balanced outputs, all right? iFi Zen Blue, $130. Quick and easy way to add the best Bluetooth you can to your system with a good DAC, or you can put it into your really, really, really good DAC, okay? $130. Opens up a multitude of possibilities, all right? So anybody that says Bluetooth is horrible and hasn't listened to that, into a really good DAC, I'll challenge you, don't have contempt prior to investigation. iFi Zen Blue. Really, really good product. Okay. These are the KZ something, something, something Pro. All right. I'll link it in the description. I don't remember exactly what their model number is because it's a bunch of numbers and letters. All right. They're $50. What I will say about these are they are the most detailed IEM that I've heard, with the exception of maybe the Tin Hi-Fi P1s. And those run for about $170. These run for $50. Much more efficient, much easier to drive. The thing about these, though, is their cord that they come with is absolutely horrible. And it literally gets tangled up every 3 seconds. But it's a 2-pin connection, and you can get a different cord for like $10 or $15 or whatever it is, okay? Great. If you haven't heard these for $50 and you're interested in getting into IEMs and you like clarity, take a look at these. KZ, all right? I think that's the name of the company, KZ, all right? Let's talk about amps. If you saw my review of the Vista Audio Spark, you'll know that I really enjoyed it. This is just an integrated amp. Basically, it's an amp with a volume control. It has 2 analog, what's in the back? 2 RCA inputs, okay? That's it. And then you have some speaker outputs. On the front, you got a really cool volume knob and some switches on, off, and then you switch the input, okay? 20 watts a channel. That freaks people out. 20 watts is not enough. It's been fine. It was fine and has driven everything, including lower impedance, or not only lower impedance, but lower sensitivity speakers, including the Aperion Novus, which are rated at 85 dB sensitivity, 20 watts a channel, okay? That amp is the most open, airy amp I have heard, I think, ever. It's $389. It sounds like a lot for what you get. I would argue that you're getting an immersive experience that you probably can't get for anything around that price. Okay? It's remarkable. I think there's only one place in the US that carries them. It's a company overseas, but if you can get your hands on one for $389 and you're not scared about 20 watts, and it's 20 clean watts, right? You can max it out and it's fine. You can even use it as a power amp. Just turn the volume all the way up, okay? And then you can hook up a DAC or whatever to it and control volume that way. Incredible. Vista Audio Spark. Incredible. It is my favorite amp that I own currently. You may have seen my review on the Orchard Audio Pecan Pi. There was some confusion around this, and being completely transparent, I was confused when Orchard Audio reached out to me. This incorporates a Raspberry Pi, okay? However, it also incorporates Orchard Audio's balanced DAC that Orchard Audio built. Also incorporates Orchard Audio's enclosure. With the DAC that Orchard Audio designed and built, I don't know if they built it, they designed it though, one gets an incredible signal to noise ratio. One gets a headphone amp with the use of an RCA to 3.5 millimeter, and I think you can also get a XLR to 2.5 millimeter jack. It's basically like an RCA cord that goes to 3.5. Now it becomes a headphone amplifier that, guess what, has specs that rival headphone amplifiers of over $1,000. Okay, and you can get like a Roon. You can get Roon loaded on this, or you can get Volumio, which are the operating systems. So the value proposition on this is it has an incredible DAC in it that they designed, has a headphone amp. It may not be the most traditional of headphone amps, but it's still a headphone amp. It comes in a beautiful enclosure with a beautiful volume knob. It's basically a preamp at that point. You can hook up a CD player to this, like a CD drive, and play CDs, okay? $550, all right? Does work on AirPlay. Only works wired, though, so you can get like a little wireless with the Ethernet out and hook it in. Okay. This is the best sounding DAC I've ever heard. Full stop. Best sounding DAC I've ever heard. It's incredible. And up to this point, until I heard this DAC, and a couple Burr Brown flagship chips in there, until I had heard this DAC, I was just like, a DAC's kind of a DAC. It just kind of sounds okay. This one sounds a little bit digitally. This one sounds a little bit more analog. Until I heard this one, and I experienced space and layering and a vision into the music that I hadn't had with any other DACs. So here's where it gets interesting. When you take the Orchard Audio Pecan Pi and you plug it into the Vista Audio Spark, now you're having an experience that I have never had before. And on my birthday, that's what I was running. I was running this into this, running my favorite speakers out of there, which at that point were the ELAC Unify UB52s. And I was in audio nirvana heaven, whatever you want to say. Orchard Audio also has other products. And if you already have your own Raspberry Pi, you can buy the same DAC that's in here for $300. You probably also want to get a volume controlled knob. They're on the website too, okay? Great sounding streamer. Not the most user-friendly, but that's not Orchard Audio's fault. That's Volumio's fault, okay? But if you put Roon on it, it's a lot easier to navigate, okay? Meze 99 Classics. If you're around headphones, you probably have heard of Meze before, but if you're not, this is, they're $2.99. Okay, sounds like a lot for a headphone. Yes, I know. This is the most well-built, probably most comfortable, well thought out headphone I've ever had on my head. And I've had a few, like dozens of headphones, because that was kind of the rabbit hole I first went down. Not only that, but it sounds fantastic. The sound signature of the 99 Classic is a little bit laid back, but still has incredible detail, incredible everything. It's the best sounding and best built headphone I've ever had. And $300, while it sounds like a lot, if you look at other headphones in the same category, like the Sennheiser 6XX by Drop, that headphone sounds incredible. Incredible, but it's not built all that great, okay? This is kind of, the Meze 99 Classic is kind of like a closed back version. Now, it doesn't have quite the magic mid-range that the 6XX has, but for a closed back headphone, frankly, it's my favorite. And it's super easy to drive, so you don't have to have a crazy headphone amplifier with it. You can run it off your phone. If you run it off your phone, chances are the DAC's not going to sound all that great, but you can get a product like the Ear Studio M100 Mark II, which has 2 Sabre chips in it. You can run balanced, you can run single-ended out of it, 10-band EQ, all sorts of stuff. I should have had that up here too, but I'll link that in the description as well. It's what I listen to all my headphones on, Ear Studio M100 Mark II. It's also a Bluetooth receiver, LDAC, very similar to this. And you can actually use it as a preamp. It won't hit 2 volts for line level input, but it'll hit like 1.5, 1.6. So if you have a decent enough amplifier, you can turn up. Anyway. All right. The big one on here is the Crown XLS 1002. All right. So this is kind of what people consider a pro amplifier for, like, I don't know, PA, bands, whatever it is. It has XLR inputs and RCA inputs. It is 350 watts into 4 ohms. So it's a powerhouse. It is Class D. Very neutral. Okay? So very neutral. You're going to get the sound of whatever you put in front of this. So if you put like a buttery DAC in front of it, you're going to get buttery sound. If you put a tube buffer in front of it, or like a tube headphone amp, or a headphone amp that has a tube buffer and RCA outs, and then into this, you're going to get that sound out of it. This will drive any speaker out there to the point of destroying the speaker. Okay? It's a little unorthodox because it's a pro type of a product. There's no remote control, but there is functionality. So you have individual channel gains over here, and you can set a high pass filter. Okay? So if you have like a DAC and you're worried about like let's say you have a pair of Magnepans, which this would probably drive very well, or you have some bookshelf speakers that start to kind of fall apart around 85 dB, you can put a high pass filter on this and then run your speakers out of there. And then you can run like a RCA out of your DAC or whatever into a subwoofer or something like that. So you can actually do bass management with this, which is pretty cool. Okay. I got the Reisong A10 up there. I should have brought it down. Reisong A10 is a true tube amplifier. 6 watts a channel. From China. You have to get it. ChinaHiFiAudio.com, I believe. The tube amp, the Reisong A10, is about $250. And people have said it costs like $170 to ship it. However, I've gone there and I've seen DHL shipping. It says $0. So I don't know if like DHL charges you later or whatever it is. Anyway, even at $250, and if you, some people have said that shipping's like $170 to the US. So that's like still like less than, that's just north of $400. It's amazing. Super airy, super open, not like overtly warm or non-detailed at all. It's very detailed. When I hooked up the Orchard Audio Pecan Pie to it, it was a magical experience. Very similar to the Vista Audio Spark. I drove 86 dB speakers off of it, 6 ohms or 6 watts, it was fine. Got as loud as I needed it to be. Now, in the biggest room, you're not going to hit 95 dB, of course, but if you get some higher efficiency speakers like the Q Acoustics 3030i, 89 dB, you get some Klipsch on there, and that tube amp would pair very well with this other Klipsch. Amazing. Amazing. All of these products are, you can start to mix and match and put together a system that is truly remarkable for not a lot of money. And that's what this channel is all about, okay? So it's kind of like, I liken this to digging through the DVD bin. And like on the top is like Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo, and you're like, okay, I've seen that 100 times. I don't want that. And you dig, and then all of a sudden you find like a special edition of Blade Runner for like $2.99. You find that gem. And that's what all of these are, in my opinion. These are all gems that represent a huge value for the money, or represent something that is truly remarkable from a sound experience, still for a high value, okay? Whew. So, if you like what we're doing here and want to support the channel, just subscribe, and you can hit the bell button thing if you want to see when all the videos go up. You can also buy merchandise. One of the products is called the Cambet shirt. 50% of all the proceeds from that shirt go to Homes for Our Troops. It's a veterans charity that I like to support. Great outfit. You can subscribe to Amazon HD Music. There's a link in the description. Scroll down to the bottom, click Try HD. You get 3 months for free. I get $2 every time somebody signs up, and then you can cancel if you want. Also, any of the links are going to be affiliate links, with the exception of the Orchard Audio is not an affiliate link, and the Reisong A10 is not an affiliate link. Oh, and also the Vista Audio Spark, not an affiliate link. So I'm just go there and figure out how to get it from them if you're interested. Okay? So don't binge watch Netflix or Hulu or HBO, whatever it is now. Binge listen to your favorite streaming service, record, tape, CD, and fill your soul with happiness. And with that, I'm Randy. I'm the cheap audio man.